Bro said Liverpool is the second most attractive club, yet got fifth. Arsenal has a better ceiling than Liverpool, is what Benjamin
said. Using your logic, Newcastle are more attractive than Chelsea. Using your logic, Brentford are more attractive than Chelsea. Using your logic, Fulham are more attractive than Chelsea. I'm sure if, Caicedo got a call from Brentford, he should move to Brentford just because they finished above Chelsea 1 year. That's the dumbest thing you've ever said your whole life, Benjamin. Thank you for the super chat, but it's not just about league position. There are 3 things that determine pull. I'm going to say it one time for all the people in the comment section. Who has the better manager, who has the more recent success, and who has the better players on paper. Well, who has the better manager? Obviously, Klopp's a better manager than Arteta. Who has the more recent success? Liverpool Football Club. On paper, players around the world are gonna say, I want to play next to Van Dijk. They don't say that for Saliba yet. He needs time to get to that level. When he gets to that level, that's when you're gonna have bigger pull than us. That's just how life works. But big up though.
This here says number 2 club, try 5th. Be honest, is what MMO
I've already answered. Premier League table means nothing.
This says, bro, if Arsenal somehow win the league this season, I'll run around London Trafalgar Square naked with I love you, Terry, on my right butt cheek. Come on, you gooners. Fair enough. Damn. If that's what you want to do. Yes, damn. Sam, should we ban all transfers to Saudi as Carragher waffled about?
I think we should ban all transfers to Saudi, but on the one condition that we ban all transfers to the Premier League as well, and we stop the Premier League from buying players from France or from the Bundesliga or from anywhere else in the world. If we do that, then we can ban transfers to Saudi. So that would be my answer. I've never agreed with Carragher once as a pundit. Once. He waffles so much. And you know what I find really funny? I speak to United fans. They like Carragher more as a pundit. I speak to Liverpool fans, some of them like Neville more as a pundit because it's just like they feel like the other ones, because they're not emotionally attached, they actually have a more honest assessment of the opposition's football club. So
yeah,
it is what it is, man.
I hear you on that. This here says, you think Caicedo chooses you over Arsenal? He was literally on his knees for Arsenal, is what John.
One phone call from Jurgen Klopp and he would forget that Arsenal Football Club ever existed. I'm sorry, you're just not that guy yet, John. Please understand, you're not that guy. When it comes to me, you're not that guy. Like, the shark came and he hunted you down. Even at 89 points, they were league champions. I was on the shark's neck to the last game, and I beat the shark before. So we're not the same, I'm going to be honest with you. Big up for the super chat, though.
Even if you had money, Rice ain't going to Liverpool, is what.
Here comes the delusion again. It's always these sensitive-ass Arsenal fans. Once again, one phone call from Jurgen Klopp, Declan Rice be a Liverpool player. It's about the money, though. We don't have the money. Not having the money versus not having the pull are completely different things.
We can dream all we want. First place is not available in the Premier League. It's City's. Pep is unstoppable. Let's focus on the cuts fact.
But that's such shit mentality. Who goes into a season defeated already? Like, so let's not play Prem football then. Just give them their league.
He's not unstoppable. Liverpool beat him to a league title with Klopp, and if you guys would have invested correctly, you could have stayed there. It's doable to catch Pep, overtake him. The one thing that Pep has to his advantage, and this isn't a discredit, he did it in Spain. He did it. Of course, he did it in Germany. He's done it here. He's always at one of, if not the most powerful club in the country, and he continues to invest in his team. And the reason that Liverpool have fallen behind City again is a failure to invest. So if Klopp can get his team to be better than City, and you were probably better for 18 months, you would have maintained that by investing correctly. So I disagree with that super chat. It is not impossible, 110%.
And Terry, you also know why it's not impossible to beat. Look at Arsenal this season. Forget the fact that they lost to City. If they beat Southampton and West Ham and the teams they're supposed to beat, they're sat here Premier League champions anyway. So all this whole City are unstoppable stuff. The same club, Sule, because I see you've got a United badge on you. The same club, you've probably laughed at their entire fan base and laughed at their club for bottling the league. Had they beaten Southampton and West Ham and the teams they're expected to beat, they would have been sat here Premier League champions. So all of this talk about City being unstoppable, the team that you're laughing at could have stopped them this season. That's reality.
Yeah, absolutely. This here says Steven Gerrard takes if Steven Gerrard takes Gomez and Nate too, he'll be the undisputed GOAT.
If someone takes Gomez, honestly, Just make, instead of one statue, make it 2 statues, man. One for the transfers, one for the player, man. Let's do it. Big up Stevie G, man.
Benjamin here says, you just said no one should go to the EPL season feeling defeated, yet City will lose motivation to win the Premier League. No ball knowledge.
There's a difference between feeling defeated and having no motivation. This is something that they've won 4 times over the last 5 years. They've won it. I don't know how you can wake up again feeling motivated to beat Brighton away from home, Brentford away from home. That's not feeling defeated. I'm talking about motivational levels, which has happened with Terry's team, with probably the greatest man manager of all time in Ferguson. Even sometimes players just like, you know, it just feels different after that third one. Like, you've already done a three-peat, you've won the Champions League. I think you'd want to go again in the Champions League, but I think it will be a completely different scenario for the Premier League. It's about motivational levels.
Harold here says, Martin Odegaard now the same age as KDB when KDB arrived at City. Odegaard will replace KDB. He's still on 83k a week, not signed a new contract yet. It was offered months ago. Oh, you think Odegaard's going to Man City?
I see that. I don't think that's impossible. Is that impossible?
Nothing's impossible in football if you pay the right money. Well, you think so, but what this is suggesting is that Odegaard isn't going to sign a new deal to force a move through to Man City.
Are you saying the kid inside, Martin Odegaard, has been thinking about playing for Man City for a while now? Is that what you're saying? It's about the kid inside Martin Odegaard. I mean, listen, Arsenal captains have left before. This ain't nothing new. You know, post-Highbury era, it's been a crazy ride over there at Arsenal Football Club.
It's certainly, I mean, it has been a crazy ride. I don't see that just yet. I feel as though the one thing I'd say about Arsenal is their camp feels very happy. There is, it's a very attractive project for people. I think the players believe in their manager. I think the players believe in the direction that they are going in. However, if they were to stall for it, say they went backwards this year and came 6th, I'm just throwing this out there, went out early in the champs, then maybe you could see a player or two's head get turned. But it might take a couple of years. I think these Arsenal players right now truly believe that they are going to be able to win some of these major trophies. But it could happen, Harold. I don't think I disagree with it, but I don't think it's a crazy warped take. I think it's a good
The
one.
FA Cup is a major trophy, to be fair. So yeah, they do have a chance.
FA Cup is huge. This here says, I'm 45 years old. I got diagnosed with Huntington's. I'm very, very sorry to hear that, my friend. It says, I don't work anymore, and I have to say this show gets me through every day. Big up the Terrace. Chris, first of all, I'm glad that we're, the show that I do and the ones that Sam does help get you through what you're going through. I wish you all the best. I don't know enough about your condition I don't know whether to say I hope it gets better. I don't know if it's lifelong. I'm a moron when it comes to this stuff, but I wish you well, my friend. I really, really do. And thank you so much for that super chat. It's very,
big up to you, Chris. Wish you well.
Indeed. Mateos here says, Sam, if Rice was available, it was able to ignore City's interest, how comes he picks up Klopp's phone call? So you are saying Klopp has more pull than Pep. Stop this.
I've already prefaced all my statements with City got more pull than Liverpool because I'm not delusional. But you stop being delusional, Mateos, because you know what happened with the Rice situation. Arsenal have paid more money than City. Simple as. Let's just say it as it is, man. Like, for once in your life, City pulled away from the deal. That's it. Don't act like a smart ass, Mateos, because I know you. You always love acting like a smart ass. I've known you for a while on the terrace. You're one of them smart ass super chatters. You know City pulled away from the deal. Come on, use your brain, brother.
This here, they've got some more super chats here. Odegaard hasn't been offered a new deal yet. Yeah, I haven't read that. I know they're in talks. I haven't seen that he's officially been offered yet. I think that he will sign. This super chat says Benjamin Mendy has been found not guilty. He's been cleared of all charges, has Benjamin Mendy. So not one, he is completely exonerated. I have seen that news today. Will he come back? Well, I suppose he will now if he's completely innocent.
I mean, I wouldn't take him as backup left back personally for Kadani's army. I think probably the same situation that happened with MG is going to happen with him. He probably moved to a different league. Maybe move back to France, Ligue A, maybe something like that. We'll see.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting though. I mean, I've got to read more about the case, but I mean, that man's name was dragged, and he's been found innocent at the end of the day. And the same people, if he was found guilty, that would say you should condemn it, will they have the same energy now to say sorry for the things that we've written about you and said about you, and everything else? It's obviously very complex, but the amount of charges he had, I naturally felt he'd go down. I thought, God, he can't have that many charges and be innocent. Well, according to this, he has. So, well, there we go. Man beat his case. Let's ban Saudi investment in hedge funds, banks, mortgages, credit card firms, and let's see what happens next. Pathetic, pejorative cackle. Get serious. Listen, I hear you. Listen, I'm one of these people. You all know how I go on, and I said it yesterday. And I was calling out certain Liverpool fans, and I had a few of them message me saying, "Terry, I never said that though." Well, then there ain't a message for you, is it? Stop. Like, I do believe in this. As much as I'm English, I don't align myself with all English people because we're not all the same. I'm a Man United fan, but I'm sovereign. I don't, sometimes people say, "Oh, have you seen what that Man United fan did online? Are you not embarrassed?" No, it wasn't me. I don't feel secondhand embarrassment because he's a man. That Man United fan who wore that shirt to the FA Cup final that said, like, that 97 wasn't enough. I had felt no embarrassment because it wasn't me. The fact he's a Man United fan and so am I, that's not enough to connect us. It's like asking Liverpool fans to feel embarrassed because Jimmy Savile was a Liverpool supporter. It doesn't make any sense. People have got to stop like this hive mind group thinking and be sovereign in that way. But everyone knows so I called certain Liverpool fans yesterday, and I'm like, "Yo, you guys have said for years that money from that region of the world is immoral and disgusting. I can't see any tweets from these big accounts or any videos posted by them stating that we are going to boycott Liverpool if they accept £50 million from that region. No, you're celebrating getting the money and what you might buy with it. So, yeah, I can't stand the again, if you're someone that's against it, be against it. And if you're someone that I believe in the freedom, if you're someone that doesn't like Saudi Arabia for one reason or another, and you don't want to be involved in anything they invest in, great, fine, do that. Don't use Starbucks or Boeing jets. Walk away from the Premier League as a fan and go and find a sport they're not investing in. That, do you know what? I'd actually commend that far more than moaning about it, but then participating anyway, especially in sport, which isn't a necessity of life. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's and go get yourself an electric car. Don't fill up your petrol as well.
Don't get an electric car though, because the electric car batteries are made by cobalt, which is testament to modern day slavery. 40,000 slave workers are in mines digging up the minerals for the batteries.
Oh, I saw that documentary as well. Oh, that was
careful. Horrible. So be careful what you're doing out there, virtue signalers. There's nothing wrong with being virtuous and a nice person, but stop projecting it out there to make as like an inoculation almost. I'm a good person, everyone like me, when you are not following through in your day-to-day actions with the complaints that you have, because you just look like a dick.
And you know what's funny, Terry? The two captains in the modern era for Liverpool Football Club are both in Saudi Arabia now. Steven Gerrard and Jordan Henderson.
Absolutely. And it's like, again, if you're going to go and if you're going to go and accept money from the people that run these football clubs and the people at the highest level, I expect these same Liverpool fans now to disown Gerrard. They've got to disown him. They are going to a country, taking money from a country that's immoral, corrupt, evil, and I'm using their words. I'm not talking about how I feel. He's taking money from them to coach football. Doesn't need to. He's a millionaire. This isn't a father of three struggling on the breadline who gets offered the most amazing job in Dubai or Saudi Arabia that changes his family's life. This man's already a millionaire. He doesn't need to work ever again. He's absolutely fine, but he's accepted it. So why are these same Liverpool fans not disowning Gerrard? Of course they won't, because when push comes to shove, they don't really care about these issues. They lie online and pretend online that they care to look good to their friends and family and followers. But in reality, they couldn't give a shit. They couldn't care less. They're liars. They're charlatans. They're fiends. And they've got to stop because it's boring. This year says Odegaard has said he's very happy at Arsenal and wants to start contract talks after the summer. Don't say worried, Gooners. Yeah, listen, I don't see him leaving either. I really, really don't. Liverpool were in Arsenal's position in the run out. They wouldn't have won because they have the maturity to do the hard things. Arsenal will get there, is what Reggie says.
They would have won. Yeah, I agree with you completely, Reggie. I have said this multiple times, even on this channel. I've said, look, last season, if we were in Arsenal's position, we'd be sat here Premier League winners, 100%. Yeah, and by the way, when we were in a title race with City, I need to remind everyone, we didn't lose to City the way we did. We actually beat them at Anfield. We drew 1-1 at the Etihad. And the quadruple season, it was a 2-2 draw and a 1-1 draw. So it was always a respectful occasion. When Arsenal played City last year, it was like men against boys, as the old commentary saying goes. So it was just a humiliation. So we never got humiliated like that against Man City. And look, Arsenal can develop to become that team. They're just not that team yet. So yeah, that's my thing.